Hello and welcome to Pacific Northwest Gothic, a lyrical weird fiction podcast inspired by the Pacific Northwest. I'm your host, Elsie Clay, and I've been waiting for you. Please be advised. Today's installment explores themes of depression and seasonal affective disorder through a metaphor that includes some descriptions of blood and gore. As always, please take care, dear listener. But since it seems you have the time, I hope you'll come sit with me and a friend of mine in the dark for a little while. Oh. Hey, stranger. Care to join me? It's nothing much, just a bench and a bottle of Jack and another less and less early sunset. Yeah, you've probably seen me around. My place is the one next to yours above the odd shop. To be honest, I'm not quite as sociable as our landlord. I keep to myself and my work. And yes, that is theater popcorn you smell on me. Never can seem to get it out. But most of my mind is really sat behind my typewriter. Old-fashioned, I know, but she's a mystery and a beauty. I'll have to tell you her story sometime. Something our shopkeep would approve of, I think. After all, most of what they sell is stories. All those baubles gift-wrapped with fables. And their natural state of things speech. Classic. Obnoxious, but classic. Like an earworm that's gotten too old. They've already told you the one about the fog, right? Well, look. I'm a collector of sorts, of tales and stories. I've picked up a few over the years. Cautionary tales, pieces of advice, mysteries and whispers of strange things. Not as many as our shopkeep, but there's a piece of advice I try to tell folks new to the rain and the gloom. One I think you should hear. Winter here is a thing best remembered at a distance, stranger. A cold, better kept at arm's length. A bitterness better left as an aftertaste, an afterthought in the ache for spring. Rain will keep you cooped up, kept indoors, carried away by a mug's vapor and some papered words wrought of warmer things. Cold will wrap you in sweaters, offer soft socks as consolation, pour warm and savory stews into your mouth, hearty food for times of hardship, filling you up until the flavors overtake you, if only for a moment. Even snow, rare and varied in these western valleys, sighs, hisses over roads and rooftops, built fires and hearths as children paint winged things in pale powder, planting puddles on the kitchen floor his tiny fingers thaw against piping hot mugs. Learn to cherish these things not to be forgotten, stranger. No, never forgotten. Maybe just framed, fashioned as joyful facets fulfilled and clung to in the bitter aftertaste, the bile left behind by that old sinking feeling from the fading sunlight. Looking back on the winter sky, that's a thing to forget. Endless shades of light gone grim through heavy clouds, brightened, dimmed, and long unbroken. Months of bluelessness will pass like that. Ooze on slowly as days and nights melt, bleed together into shades of silt. The colors of the world will grow distorted, desaturated, watered down in the absence of any weather carried on the wind. No. The winter skies by the North Pacific hold only mysteries of smoke and mist. Forget the dark hours, too, if you can. Rolling, stretching, folding all the metals of the day, from gray to slightly different gray. And thus, the slow monotony will quickly slip into taffy-stretched time. Your thoughts pulled and folded as nights swallow up the daylight. And in that deep and devouring darkness, sleep becomes a haunting thing, faded, worn around the edges, translucent and untouchable, even as it sits upon your chest, a will and a curse, clawing at your mind. Restless even in sleep, so you're always tired. Empty and dreary even in daylight, so fickle that you'll find no foothold for rest. And those thoughts you'd thought you'd shaken, those thoughts you'd thought you'd laid to rest in the heat and sweat of summer will solidify again. If only you could forget those sleep-deprived and waking nightmares, those monstrosities your mind meticulously manufactures for lack of motion, lack of stimuli, lack of changing skies, for you will sense so little movement of bodies above or down below. You'll pray in a trance between sleep gone sour and a wicked wakefulness, swimming through fractions of a mind's world shattered, born from the frozen death of innocence, born from the cruelty of cultured tongues, born from the lonely lives of strangers, born from a fear insurmountable laid within your thrumming chest, born from a ferocity unfathomable screaming in your lungs, born from a pain unpalatable long ago lodged in your throat. And when you wake to blood in your bed, to nausea clawing your insides as you try to hold them in, your heart still beating, your lungs still expanding, your stomach still squelching, you'll pack them back inside their cradling bones, inside their cage of ribs. It's then you'll realize the winters here bring curses back to life, raise the living to an undeath of memories burned and buried, haunted and haunting in the same silent breath. So keep the memories of rain and cold and snow, stranger, of shelter and warmth and celebration. Hold them close in your bloodied hands, next to your beating heart and breathing lungs, until spring brings back the sun and closes all the wounds you thought you'd left behind. It's a difficult thing, stranger, remembering to forget as we sit on this bench with my bottle for the pain of it. But when you finally wash that blood gone bitter, that booze and bile gone rotten taste from your hands, you'll understand in time that winter here is a thing better left unsaid. Thank you for listening, dear stranger. This has been Pacific Northwest Gothic. If you like what you heard, I upload new episodes on Tuesdays on Spotify, YouTube, and Substack. I will also now be uploading update episodes called Blanket Fort episodes for those who are interested in knowing a little bit more about what's going on behind the scenes here at PNWG. Updates will still come after each episode, they just won't be as detailed. However, if you haven't noticed already, PNWG episodes are now being grouped and released in limited runs called volumes. I go into more detail about this in the first Blanket Fort episode, but long story short, I needed a more sustainable way to maintain the podcast. So I have decided on a volume or run system where I upload episodes every week for about a month or two at a time. This way, volumes can release throughout the year, and I will be able to take breaks between each volume. So, episode 1 through 7 is now volume 1, and the two most recent episodes are the beginnings of volume 2. If you'd like to hear more about the reasons behind this, I talk about it in the first Blanket Fort episode, which will be uploaded later this week on the usual platforms. If you'd like to follow the podcast on social media, see the art that I make, and get updates about what's happening with PNWG, you can find us on Instagram at PacificNWGothic. And finally, if you'd like to support me and the work that I do, like, follow, subscribe, share links to the episode, and though I don't have much up on it yet, you can follow the link in the description to Pacific Northwest Gothic's Linktree, and through that, to our Patreon. I'm your host, Elsie Clay, hoping to sit with you in the dark again next week.